Welcome to another Techstination interview. Today, a look at an affordable computer designed for kids from a company called Tanoshi. Joining us is co-founder and CEO Brad Johnston. Thanks for joining us, Brad.
Hey, thank you, Fred.
Give us some background. Tell us the story of what Tanoshi is all about.
Sure. So Tanoshi was actually conceived of way back in 2013, 2014, when my mother and sister were both elementary school teachers up in Oregon in third grade. And what they came to realize was, they started taking these computerized, standardized tests, and some of their students, especially low-income students, were struggling on the test. They went and asked them why and came to realize it was because they didn't have something as basic as a starter computer at home just to learn basic typing skills. So from that day onward, I quit my job in big tech, founded Tanoshi in 2015, and I've been working to help close that gap so that every child has the same opportunity to develop computer skills and be on track to have the best grades and the best career possible.
And for our audience, if the name is familiar, you might think back to a Shark Tank episode in 2020. You had a very successful appearance there, and tell us about that and what's happened since.
Yeah. So we were on Shark Tank last May. That was pretty exciting. Go up in front of the sharks and pitch them. It was a really amazing experience. Since then, as I'm sure you can imagine, our brand has blown up. That following, actually a couple months later in July, we got our next round of inventory. We had a little bit of a backlog because of COVID. But as soon as inventory came in, boom, we shot up to number one on both Amazon and Walmart in sales. And life has been good ever since then. People resonate, there's, because of COVID, a lot of distance learning now. And that's been our mission since day one, is to close the homework gap and give every child the computer and the opportunity. And so we're super excited to be contributing in every way we can to make that happen.
Well, let's talk about the computers that you have on the market. I think you have a couple different models now.
Yeah. So we have the original model, which we launched in 2018, which is the Tanoshi 2-in-1. And just a friendly reminder, if anyone's not familiar with it, what really makes it unique and special is we have age-appropriate parental controls for kids ages 6 to 12, where mom and dad can really supervise their online activities. We also include some amazing preload apps, like apps where kids can start learning how to code from day one. They don't need any previous experience. They don't need a teacher. And it's for kids as young as 6. And then in addition to that, you have the entire Google Play Store with over 3 million apps. So the child can go find any game they want, hopefully educational, go to download it. And with our parental controls, mom and dad have the ability to select, what the child can or cannot download. So that was our original 2-in-1, and we're super excited about that. Got great feedback from the community. They loved it. But we also heard back from the community that there were some other, features they'd like added or improved, including more durability. And with that, we went and developed the Tanoshi Scholar, which we just launched last month.
And how is it different from the original?
Right. So the Tanoshi Scholar includes everything the original does, the Tanoshi 2-in-1. In addition, we built it a little bit more durable. So if it happens to drop off, the couch or the child's desk at school, it's going to take a licking a few times. It's in pretty good shape. We got some rubberized bumpers around the outside. We have an extra screen protector built in on every single unit. Give it a little extra durability. Also splash-proof, dust-proof. We also added a webcam cover, so adds more privacy. So it's a physical webcam cover, so you can turn it off, make sure nobody can hack into your device. And the latest version of Android, and even more educational apps. Parents were telling us, we love the fact that you preload apps, educational, age appropriate for my child. Can you do more of that? So we've been actively talking with some amazing app developers out there to put more apps so children can improve their math, their science skills, their STEM skills, and we have a lot more coming. So we're pretty excited about it, and we're pretty excited about the new product meeting the needs of our consumers to make sure their child, again, from home, from school, from wherever they are, they're on their computer and they're learning, they're not just consuming.
And a big part of the story here is the pricing.
Correct. So the first product we came out with came out at $199, and our objective there was, again, to make sure it's everyday affordable, so everyone can have access to a modern day computer. With that, we've actually gone above and beyond. We've set up some, plans now where you can pay in monthly installments of only like $50 a month if you need to. That's available on our website. And we have some other things we've tried to be creative with to try to help people who need it. The new product, the Scholar, is $299 MSRP. It's a little bit more, but not much more. Again, we want to keep the price as low as possible. The only reason the price really went up a little bit was that durability standard. You know, in order to make it more ruggedized, we had to invest a little more in the chassis and the design. But above and beyond that, our mission was still the same: keep the price as low as possible to make sure as many people as possible have access to a great computer.
Now, these are Android devices, not Chromebooks. So tell us, for people who wonder what the differences are, and can they be used for the typical schoolwork that kids are doing today?
Okay, that's a great question. So I'll start with the second part, and it's definitely yes. So they are Android devices, both Android and Chrome, as well as Windows and I believe Mac. Can download most Android programs used for school. So Google programs. So Google Classroom, Docs, Sheets, obviously Chrome browser, YouTube, stuff like that. So those are compatible across the devices. We preload a lot of that on the device, so mom and dad and the child don't have to go hunt it down. It's already there. One of the benefits of being Android versus Chrome is the fact that children can do a lot more offline with our device. So one of the disadvantages of Chromebooks is you really need a broadband internet, high-speed internet connection to have a great experience on a Chromebook. Offline, there's some stuff you can do, but there's a lot of setup required. With Android, out of the box, online, offline, both ways work. So say you don't have high-speed internet at home, you can go to school or the school parking lot, wherever you need to be, McDonald's, download your homework, take it home, work on it offline, and then go back to the next time you can get a Wi-Fi hotspot and upload it from there.
Interesting. So they can use it as they would ordinarily use a Chromebook for their schoolwork, and they can also use something like Zoom.
Correct. Oh yeah, you can use all the popular video conferencing apps: Zoom, Google Meet. What's Microsoft's version? Too early in the morning for me, but Microsoft's version of it. So all of those are fully compatible with the device. That's not a limitation to Chrome or any other operating system. It really comes down to what the app developers want to make, and especially for those video conferencing, they're pretty much making them available for every device nowadays, and they work great on Chrome. Work great on Android, Chrome as well.
Well, tell us, during this pandemic, obviously I can see pluses and minuses for you. Minuses might be getting things manufactured, built, and out the door into the hands of consumers. But on the plus side, the demand must be exploding. Yeah.
It's 2020 has been a very interesting year for our company, just like many others. We actually started the year back in March when schools started closing, and we finished March as being one of our best months on record for sales. Basically, whatever inventory we had left, we sold it in the end of March. So that was a great month for us. However, that was also the time basically all the factories closed worldwide for months at a time. So we had no inventory for a few months, and that hurt a little bit. Even the first time we actually aired on Shark Tank, we had no inventory, nothing to sell. So it was all pre-orders. So that definitely hurt us a little bit. But getting the message out was exciting, and as soon as more inventory arrived, people scooped it up. We sold out. We went a couple more months without any inventory, and then more inventory arrived for Christmas, and it sold really well. And so, it's been a interesting 2020, up and down in waves. When supply chains allowed, it was great. When they weren't there, we were trying to get as much more as we can so that we can serve as many of our customers as we possibly could.
So what's in store for 2021?
So that's a great question. 2021 is going to be a big focus on, the changes we're seeing taking place both at home and in the schools. So our new Scholar computer was definitely meant for home and school learning. It wasn't so much optimized for some of the stuff going on with distance learning. So we have some new products in the pipeline that will be a little more optimized for that. And that's going to be a big part of our focus is, what are the trends we see? What is it that we're hearing from parents, from teachers, about their kids and their students and what their needs are and where the gaps are, And where is it that Tanoshi can step in and help fill those gaps to make sure, again, that they're getting their homework done, they're keeping up with their classmates, and hopefully with our device, even in some of the personalized learning tools that we've included, they're getting ahead of their classmates. They're getting ahead of the curve and they're setting themselves up for a very bright future.
Very cool. The website for more information is TanoshiKidsComputers.com. It's spelled Tanoshi kidscomputers.com. Brad Johnston, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Hey, Fred, thank you. I really appreciate it and great talking with you again.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at C. Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand, without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.